Hey y'all, hey. So I wanted to pop in today real quick just to talk about the emotional and mental effects that having cancer can have on a person. So there's already some type of familiarity and awareness about the physical effects of cancer. But I think that one of the key components that's overlooked unintentionally are the mental effects that cancer can have on a person. And you can be a mentally healthy person prior to your cancer diagnosis. And when you receive that diagnosis, it literally can shift you into a state of depression. And that state of depression may result in an actual depression diagnosis because your life is altered immediately. Like it's altered right at the moment that you find out that you have cancer. So when I found out that I had cancer, I was in such shock and such pain, like not physical pain, but like emotional pain, because I was so hurt reading those results that I didn't even know what to do. I read the results on my phone first. And then I ran to my computer to pull them up on my computer because in my mind I was like, the computer is going to tell me something different because the phone got to be lying to me. I can't accept this right now in this moment. Like I can't. And so I went to the computer and I read the results literally 10 times before I'm like, okay, this stuff really says that I have cancer, two different types of cancer. Like, come on now, of all things, I already got enough going on in this body. Of all things, I gotta have cancer too. So you're just in shock and you're hurt and you're in disbelief and then you're angry because it's like, I still have so much to do. What's going to happen? You're scared because now you're entering into a space where everything is unknown. You know that you know your stage, but you don't know if it's spread anywhere. You don't know how rapid it's growing. You don't know if you're going to have chemo, radiation. You don't know anything about your treatment plan. It's everything is the unknown. So you're scared. So then I already suffer from anxiety, but then comes a heightened sense of anxiety. So I worry about things that I shouldn't worry about already, and I worry about things that don't need to be worried about already. Like I'm always worrying. So I'm like, what happens when you're already not a mentally stable person? Because I'm a little mentally unstable over here, just a little bit. Because in addition to having anxiety, I also have obsessive compulsive disorder. And I've been living with that for years. I was diagnosed with that at a time where they were not diagnosing children with OCD, which is still kind of rare, but more common now than it was then. And at a time where mental awareness was not a thing and it was not talked about. So my mind has already been a whole battlefield already. And so then when you just layer that with cancer, it's exhausting. So your first couple of days, you're trying to process this and you're hurt, you're shocked, you're in disbelief, you're in denial, and it's just your emotional wheel is just constantly turning. So what happens when you're 3 weeks in? Almost 4 weeks. I'm coming up on my month this month. What happens then? So by the third day, I had psyched myself out. Like, not really psyched myself out. Let me not say that. But I was more encouraged on the third day, obviously, than I was the first and second day. Like, I'm like, okay, it's treatable. T, come on now. We got this. You ain't never ran from a fight. You gonna fight. You gonna kick cancer's ass. There's no doubt about it. You're gonna be healed. You're gonna live. Yes. I mean, and I was there. But it's a false narrative to think that every day is going to be sunny skies and flowers, and every day is not a good day. There's a lot of storms in there, and you have to allow yourself to go through the storm. But it's like, what do you do when you're going through the storm? I mean, you still dance. in the rain, but you have to feel what you feel. So I was watching a movie a couple of weeks ago with my boys, maybe last week. I can't keep up. Time is flying. And it was a funny movie. And I'm sitting there watching this movie, and then I get emotional. In the middle of this comedy, I have tears running down my face. Because all I could think about in that moment was, what if these opportunities are limited? What if we don't continue to get moments like this? What if I have to cherish this time because all I have left is what I'm giving right now? And it's easy for people to say, I don't want you thinking like that. You got to think positive. And I want to be positive all the time. I really do. But that's just not the reality of the situation, unfortunately. So I was thinking that. And my compulsive thoughts started telling me that this was it. That these last moments leading up to phase 1 of treatment was going to be it for me. I was blessed with the opportunity to go and celebrate and participate in a birthday parade for one of my favorites, my aunt, well, two of my favorites, I'm sorry, because they share a birthday. My aunt, she turned 85 last week, and my brother cousin, he also celebrated his birthday. And when I say brother cousin, he is my cousin by blood. He is my brother by spirit, because that's my dog. And so, because I don't want y'all thinking that there was some incest going on. The internet is a wild place, and people just take something and run with it. We're not doing that today. So I was blessed with the opportunity to participate in that parade, and not only participate in that parade, but just take a moment to enjoy my family, even in the midst of COVID. And I need y'all to mind y'all's business with that as well, because we did practice safe measures and everyone did have on masks, but it was necessary. And it wasn't just necessary for me, it was necessary for everybody. We needed that. COVID got us going crazy. But that moment was bittersweet for me, because as I'm reflecting on my day at the end of the day, I'm like, every hug was just a little bit tighter and longer. Every I love you meant just a little bit more. And I really took the time to embrace every moment throughout that day. And I'm in my quiet time, like, see, what if that was it? Like, this is what my mind is telling me, y'all. Like, what if that was it? What if that was your last? What if you enjoyed yourself today because that was your last opportunity? And so you're just on this emotional roller coaster constantly. And the weight of cancer is so insurmountable, and it's so inescapable that you find yourself unable to get off of this ride. Like, when is it going to end? And you're just there, up and down, up and down. Some days you're real good and you're real positive, I'm going to make it. And then other days you're just down, like, but what if? So for about a week, I was just in this really rough mental space where I was just like, oh my gosh, like, my family, people are doing this because I'm not going to make it work. People are giving me my flowers because it's important to let people know, and how you feel about them, and give people their flowers before they check up out of here. So it's like, oh gosh, people are giving me my flowers because I'm about to check out. Or oh dang, we spending so much time together because the Lord wants me to know, he wants me to cherish every moment and know that I'm loved, and but just all these things, and they might sound ridiculous to someone else, but this is what you think. This is how your mind is working. So it's like, you're so anxious. And I've had 11 surgeries. I am by far not afraid to go under, but this time is different. You're fearful. You're fearful of the outcome. You don't know what's going to happen. And then in comes those feelings of depression. So it's like I'm already dealing with the anxiety, the fear, and trying to continuously process the fact that I have a malignant tumor growing inside of my body. And then trying to deal with the compulsive thoughts and at war with my mind constantly because I'm like, okay, come on, sis, get it together. That's not what it is. Because you're not done with life. Like, I'm not done with life. I still have so much to do. But then that depression, those symptoms start to come in. And then once that door is open, like, y'all, there's times that I don't even feel like getting out of the bed. And I'm a busybody, so that's not even me. Some days I don't have it in me to fight. I don't have the energy. I'm exhausted. So I don't even want to get out the bed, but I have to because I got kids. And if I don't get out the bed, this house is going to be flipped up, turned upside down, fell apart, all of that. It's just all over the place. So I have to get out the bed because I have to parent and I have to be a student because I'm in grad school and I have to be an employee because I have a job. But it's hard sometimes just to wake up and do life. So then some days I'm sad for no, I won't say for no reason because I got cancer. So that's a reason to be sad. But some days I'm sad. And then other days I'm mentally numb. I don't feel anything. I'm not happy. I'm not sad. I'm not mad. I'm not angry. I'm just existing. I'm just there. So it's like you're constantly going through and experiencing so many emotions. But I had to have a conversation with myself. First of all, I had to go back to all of the people. There's about 6 people that check on me every single day. And then there's another couple of few that just pop in and check on me just to see how I'm doing, just check-ins. And I appreciate all of them. Everyone who checks on me, it's not taken for granted. And I appreciate it greatly. But I had to go back to the people and say, you know what? Last week was rough for me, and that's my bad. I led with the physical because I got to check in and say how I'm doing physically, mentally, and emotionally. And so I just always led with the physical. Oh, I'm fine today, or I'm fine right now, which it wasn't a complete lie. It's just I might have omitted the fact that today I'm mentally having a rough day because I don't like to unload on people. That's like what people do to me. That's my job. That's my, clinical mental health counseling. That's me. So people unload on me, not the other way around. And don't get me wrong, I had a therapist and all of that. So this is not a conversation about, oh, she probably needs to go to therapy. I probably do need to go ahead and call her back. But at the same time, the love from the village is what has helped me get through. And I had to have an honest conversation with myself, and I had to go before God on my own, and I had to call out my own healing. And after I called out my own healing before God, then I had to have a conversation with me and look myself in the eye, in the mirror, and say that you can think whatever you want, but it's about what you believe. So I can think that I'm going to be healed, and I can think that I'm going to kick cancer's ass, and I can think all of these things, but do I believe it? Because if I don't believe it, it's not even a point in me even thinking about it. So I had to get my mind right, and I had to believe every single thing that I was telling myself and that everybody else is telling me too. Because I'm surrounded by so much love and so many prayers. So I had to believe those things. So if you're a person that is going through, and it doesn't have to be cancer, but if you're going through cancer or anything life-altering, life-shattering, and something that has changed your life in any capacity, I want you to know, one, it's important to surround yourself with a supportive village of people that are consistent. If you have people that are inconsistent in the village, it's okay to go ahead and ask them to go ahead and step on outside. And we just go and reconnect later if that's what we choose to do. But you have to surround yourself with those type of people because, like I said, it's the love from the village that keeps me going every single day. It's the love from the village that pushes me through that door every day to keep going, to keep fighting, keep believing when I can't do that for myself. Because there are days, unfortunately, that I can't be that person for myself. Connect with women that has gone through this journey because that's going to be essential. Those women, the women that are in my life that I hope to join in survivorship, no, that will become my sisters in survivorship, These women that God strategically placed in my life is where I have drawn the most hope and inspiration from. And I am so filled up each time they pour into my spirit, because those are the people that understand the most everything that I'm going through. Even though everyone's journey is unique to their own being, physically and mentally, they still understand and they still get it. So connecting with women that have gone through what you're going through, or that has walked this path, is essential. Document your journey, whether you write it down, whether you record videos of yourself, and it doesn't have to be anything that's shared. Document your journey. It will help you. Embrace every moment. Don't take life for granted, but live, and know that you're going to live, and find happiness in the midst of the diagnosis, because there's happiness here in the midst of cancer. And understand that the villagers are also emotionally affected and mentally affected by your diagnosis as well. And if you're a villager, what can you do? Same. Stay consistent. Just stay consistent. If you have no intentions on being consistent, again, go ahead and relieve yourself from being a part of the village. Go ahead and step on outside, because it's already difficult dealing with a cancer diagnosis, and then you're already experiencing these array of emotions, and then you got to deal with inconsistent people. It brings more stress. We trying to cut stress out, right? And support your person in any capacity that you can, and in the way that they want to be supported. Listen to them. Don't necessarily try to give them unwarranted advice, especially if you don't understand what it is, or lack a basic understanding of what it is that they're going through, because you're never going to fully understand unless you've gone through it. Support them, listen to them, be there for them, and just, listen, let them talk. I said that like 3 times, but that's important. Sometimes you just got to let them unload. Love and laugh, encourage. Never stop encouraging your person. Even if they're not encouraged themselves, never stop encouraging your person. Because like I said, sometimes I draw and pull off of other people's encouragement and other people's belief about my diagnosis and the outcome than I do myself. So never stop encouraging them. And sometimes, sometimes you got to pull up. I know it's COVID, but sometimes you got to just offer that visit. We got masks, face shields, hand sanitizer. We can stay 6 feet apart, but sometimes it's necessary. Just doing things, anything to get out the house, taking a ride, just whatever it is. Never stop supporting that person, and be gracious. Be gracious, because the emotional roller coaster, they're going to drag you right on that mug with them. Like, sometimes you can't get off either, but be gracious, because I had someone tell me, you don't call me. You still haven't called me. Sometimes I don't want to call myself. Like, we all have things going on in our lives, but the stuff that the cancer was just placed on my mantle, like, my mantle is real heavy right now. Give me some grace. Because sometimes I don't even feel like getting out the bed. So calling somebody, a lot of times my phone is on Do Not Disturb. So be gracious. Be gracious. Family is healing. And there's healing power in family. There's healing power in love. And there's happiness in a cancer diagnosis. And I'm going to try to continue to provide you guys with more mental health updates. But now I'm in a really good mental space, and I hope that I stay here for days to come.